saying the class is messed up. But anyway, hi everyone. As Rob said, my name is Judy Wong. I'm coming to you live from New York City. Most of you know me as an ESOL teacher. Some know me as a performing or visual artist. When I began teaching many years ago, I was just an artist and happened to be insanely obsessed with languages, especially my native language, American English. So that's what I thought. After all, what did art have to do with English language learning? But as I went along, I realized everything has to do with it. A wise art teacher of mine used to say, art is life and life is art. The more I thought about the statement, the more I realized art is English language learning, or ELL for short, and ELL is actually art. So that is what I decided I wanted to share with you today, or how we use art in our ELL or ELL in our art. As a native New Yorker, I work with many different students from vastly different cultural backgrounds in an immersive environment. When I began teaching, I did as most of you have, the drills, the lists, the endless grammar rules, and yet my students didn't seem to be grasping the language, the nuances, and the meanings. I learned early on that it was important to reach these students where their culture understanding lies. But how was I to do that? Well, through art, of course. Art is the universal language that crosses the cultural barriers that divides the students' understanding. I mean, think about it. In teaching English, we are uncovering the light to a world unseen, unheard, and unfelt. And what is art but an open door to a world unseen, unheard, and unfelt? I recently came across an article from Edutopia that I would like to share with you. Here's the excerpt from Vanessa Vega. She eloquently expresses the 6 strategies that I have come to use over the last 35 years since I began using art as a preschool teacher to teach academics. I found pictures are a perfect medium for activating a student's cultural prior knowledge and a great way to begin the connection with the English language. Having them sculpt their ideas with words triggers a perspective taking and prompts the reasoning. Finally, the performance helps them with observing and describing what they are feeling and seeing, leading to the questioning and investigating of the complexity of the story. The volume of language that emerges from this process can be absolutely tremendous, and the excitement from the students overwhelming. In Ms. Vega's article, she presents Hardiman's brain-targeted teaching model. This research confirmed how perfectly art can pair with the cognitive activities that improve the long-term memory and subsequently the acquisition of language. The elaboration of expression in drawing, painting, and sculpture, the rehearsal of meaning through film and song, the generation of informational language prompted by a simple photograph, the increased memory due to the enactment through drama and dance. There is reader's theater and song, like Jason Levine's fabulous rap song, to increase oral production. And this is one of my favorites, Studying the Painting, Guernica, by Pablo Picasso, painted in 1937. There's just so much language that is generated in discussing the meaning, emotional status, and pictorial representation. This brings me to one of my favorite lessons, which can be adapted pretty much to any age group or culture that you may be teaching in. Take a look at these pictures. Take a look at this slide. What does it bring to mind? Is there a story from your culture that these drawings remind you of? Briefly jot down any describing words and share them in the chat box. The story of the tortoise and the hare is a fairly universal one. I found most cultures seem to have some version of this story. This usually activates prior background knowledge of story within my learners L1. What I usually do is I take these words that they have and they generate and I put them into a Wordle and I create for them a visual of the language that they've created. The students are then paired into groups to create a story using these words, which they will later perform for their classmates. As a final step, the students can take their stories and create a picture book, or if they have access to technology, a video, or a comic strip. They may even read the picture book to the class while sharing it or making a video or comic strip with a voiceover recording. The thing is, art is integral to teaching language. Despite many artists' fears, technology is not replacing that need. In fact, technology is enhancing it. Students can make their own videos, as my dear friend Vicki Holla will show you in a later shortly. While others can write wonderful songs like Fluency MC and Jason Levine, or create some awesome media stories like Shelley Terrell does. You don't need to fear technology, but we need to use it to make teaching with art better. It doesn't matter if you are from a rural area or a big city like I am. Look at the celebrated Ghanaian artist ELL whose famous sculpture Bleeding Takari II is hanging in the Museum of Modern Art. It is composed of discarded liquor bottle caps and peels, common objects found in his community. I hope this encourages you to use the local stories in your community. Use the materials or technology at hand to share with your students the English they wish to learn. Okay, I want to leave you with this quote by Albert Einstein. Creativity is intelligence having fun. And from my very favorite author, Kurt Vonnegut, to practice any art, no matter how well or badly, is a way to make your soul grow. So do it. Enjoy the rest of this fabulous webathon. If you have any questions or comments, I can be reached by email, through my blog, through Facebook, and never ever forget, we are teachers as well as students. Our teachers. So keep learning.